find any additions or corrections to our last meeting? Well, sorry, you get to continue doing it. Thank you very much. Anything old that we need to be going over before we get to this?
October minutes,
Oh, the October minutes too.
October 9th.
Okay,
Is that what she just said?
that's what I just
Oh.
asked if anybody had any corrections to the last and what's been. And everybody thinks you're doing a fine job.
Thank you.
So, we'll actually make a full motion. Do I want to move that we adopt the minutes?
Second.
Motion made, seconded, all in favor of say aye. Approved. Yeah, everybody said aye. Don't worry about it. Pardon me, I'm running on a few hours of sleep. I actually missed 3 stops with kids on the way home. 4 stops.
You've done it faster
You
than.
got done, you.
Well, no, I had to back up, turn around, go back. And kids were like, stop. Anyway, okay. Nothing old. New is the, what are we calling this? The our potential of reclassifying as being not ag or
Well, I mean, for the, yeah, that's still gonna. take care of it. So it'd be, like this land,
yes,
yeah, that,
The proposal.
proposed.
yeah, I mean, I don't know much about this one, other than. Skim through, it, but I don't. I mean, if it's, the problem is, it's gonna be, they bought the land under the existing zoning,
Mhm.
and so there's no. Man, if they're allowed to subdivide it and whatever under existing town law, I don't.
Well, wasn't that some of the question?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a huge question, right? I mean, it's
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, that's what,
owned as rural ag.
Rural ag.
And it's New York State, what is it classified as for?
natural area and stuff.
Well, no,
Because there's a couple.
There is some
yes,
consultation.
there's some, yeah, but
That's
there's,
just their bad luck that they ended up holding up the property that everybody thinks is wonderful and that essentially devaluing it. I hate those many things. You know, ooh, that's cool, so you can't ever do anything with it.
Yeah,
And if 50 years ago they mowed it off. Hey, Brian.
hi, Brian.
it's classified as farmland of statewide importance.
Real.
The whole property, almost all of it.
So perhaps the trolling rule for us is
Yeah.
that
The whole thing almost,
is,
I mean, that map is included in. I think it's in that email. The
Yeah.
Maps in there.
Well, my question with the Fairland forest too is. Those are protected in New York. State.
Yeah.
You aren't even supposed to advertise it.
right.
So how can you go in there with a bulldozer and? Cause they're proposing what, 2 or 3 houses in there?
I think there's 4 lots in there.
4, I think, yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lots in there.
and
So, but there's nothing protecting the trees, so if they cut the trees down, the trees will just go away anyhow. Problem solved. I don't know. So there, it seems kind of ridiculous, you would buy it before you knew whether or not you could subdivide it.
you'd be surprised at people.
they just assume it could be.
Well, I mean, I think people do this all the time.
Yeah.
And then they expect everyone else to say, okay, we'll let you let this slide. That's what they do. Why lawyers exist. Like, I created a problem, let me fix it, but how you fix it?
I thought, wait a minute, I thought the lawyers created the problems and then we go to the lawyers to fix them.
No.
You collect both ways.
It can go both ways, but usually it's because, you know, at least in the world I work in, it's like, I did something horrible, can you fix it?
Can you help me?
Yeah, it's like, sure, I'll wave magic wand. It doesn't happen. But yeah, that's a lot of people do that with. I mean, like the guy I wanted to do the crypto thing. He
Hmm.
bought the building and right near you, and he had no idea that it wasn't even permitted. And it would have been a simple phone call over here,
Yeah,
but he bought it anyway, and he's like, well, it's your fault. Boss. So. So. I think this one's a little trickier though, because I don't think UNA has stopped development.
No, UNA's down.
Yeah, so. Those are on the,
Yeah.
well, this is a new problem for me, and I don't have a lot of experience in this avenue, but not really sure how we go about this. I mean, a little bit of a conflict of interest for me here, because this is 100 acres of tillable ground that we are currently working. And you all know the loss of, to replace 100 acres of tillable ground right across the road.
Right there by it.
The
Yeah.
efficiency of that is, you can't compare that to anything, right? We're not gonna get that back. Not to question, you know, with also I mean, there's 20 lots here or something, and our new bunk facility is directly across the road. Our water
Yeah.
treatment is directly across the road.
Mhm.
And so the unfathomable amount of conflicts that I'm gonna have in the next 30 years, if this happens, is gonna be, it's gonna be detrimental. So everybody obviously knows where I stand on this,
So
but I don't know what our options are.
Well, I mean.
you
it's not
may
really
not
a
know,
conflict.
did they pay a ton more for it than you were willing to pay?
Absolutely. They wanted a pretty penny for this. They wanted almost $1 million for this.
Yeah, I saw the.
Yeah, and we did our due diligence and we were very generous, but we're nowhere near that.
Yeah.
We're around the 700 mark, which was very fair. But that's not what they want, you know. It's a tough, the family is a challenge in itself, and so they couldn't agree. And then this is what happened. So we were at a catch-22, right? Do you pay $300,000 more than what it's worth to keep it, or you wait it out? And we waited it out, and this is where it got us. So, yeah, I don't have the knowledge of how to go forward with this, but we ought to be trying to prevent this, right? On the conservation side, on the support of agriculture.
We're gonna be discussing it at the next conservation board meeting. It's on the agenda, I know.
And you look at the way the town is zoned, and when it's a rural ag, when you read through the zoning, they literally say that it's intended to remain rural where agriculture is recognized, and like it's like right across the road from a 2,000 cow dairy,
Oh, yeah.
right? And so if the town's supporting ag and the entire industry, then letting this major subdivision happen is completely against what our comprehensive plan is saying, what the zoning is saying.
And why would people want to build houses?
Right, that
That's
was,
a good one.
that's one of my questions is. If they know that that is their neighbor,
They don't know that now. I don't know when they'll know it.
when they try
Can they
to
buy a lot?
Yeah.
they buy a lot and
Well,
put a house on
The
it.
realtor is supposed to tell them.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
but
Actually.
that normally happens at the signing when they're signing 1,500 documents and don't, you know, everything just goes sliding by and they don't, you know.
Well, I
Yeah.
think they go look at their lot before they.
Yeah.
I saw there was a big chunk they were proposing to donate to the wetlands or something. It doesn't show up on there, but it shows up on my phone.
Only because they can't use it.
50 acres or something like that.
Now, this also gets into the topic that we have discussed many times about telling a farmer what they can and can't do with their property. But we've also gone around and around with, we want to encourage agriculture to stay agriculture.
Yeah.
And not become a development right the other side of somebody's pasture fence.
Or bun style.
Or done so. You know, looking across the fence at some contented grazing heifers is one thing until they are on the wrong side of the fence and are in your flower bed.
Yeah.
His bunker silo doesn't have to wander over into their flower beds to air quotes become annoying,
But the smell
Do that.
from the
Right.
farm would kind
will
of,
waft across all on its own.
yeah.
Yeah, and EMC.
And he thinks, hey, corn silage smells great.
That's,
Yeah, so there is a presentation, I think it's tomorrow night.
The planning board?
EMC Well, no, it's the town
Oh,
board from the environmental management.
oh yeah, the EMC.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have bought it or received us all this hassle.
Yeah, you could have, you know, passed the hat, you know. Tim could chip in a whole bunch and
Was this? These fields way down in South School, that kind of wet down there.
That's the wettest of it, probably.
It's 100 acres, right?
Couple hundred.
It's a couple hundred, it's 100 acres, it's just like 85 acres of total today.
Oh, I see.
and it's all on the south side of Hyle.
Mhm.
They're not looking to. Yeah, and the town's comprehensive plan is to try to keep development zoned into areas where there is public services, water, sewer, etc.
Is there sewer there now?
Nope.
No, there's nothing. There's nothing out there.
Nope.
Okay, well then, maybe that'll work.
Yeah, I mean, that was, right now, they'd have to operate under the health department's rule for septic. So they either would be doing individual septic or somehow put together like a mobile home park. They would have a
Really?
joint, yeah. That's the only way they could do it.
Those lots are plenty big enough for.
Which, you know, those fail eventually, the big ones, because there's some right outside of the village of Freeville, I think, and then
There's a lot smaller.
but there's.
Oh, the park,
the park, that's what.
Can't maintain them.
I didn't realize they got the woods up in.
Like 2
Right
acres
across
lots.
from.
How much does the town actually use the comprehensive plan?
Well, the zoning is built off of it. The zoning is pretty much an interpretation of that.
Mhm.
So that's why we're doing the zoning rewrite, but we're doing it in. Ordinance right now.
Well,
Yeah, Kirk Road is where there was the other park, that the old Conjure one that failed,
Yeah.
because their septic failed completely. So yeah, that.
On the east side of Kirk Road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Conjure Circle, I think that's what it was.
Mhm.
That was it.
And that's like when you have if they're gonna try to do something like that with this, that would be difficult. But the lots, cause I think I think you need. You know, my neighborhood. For a single family, you need. I think at least an acre and a quarter. You have to have enough space to put the field, it's like, I don't know, this.
And now they say you have to have enough space so you can. A second septic system in case the first one fails.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so this, yeah, that'll be different for this than they are for, because the neighborhood I'm in was built 1970. So their homes are a little closer together, most of them.
Well, I would say that the way they've got it sliced up, they've got lots big enough for
Mhm.
that planned in.
That's these red ones.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and this goes to the planning board before we
Yeah.
even see it, so.
Yeah, any recommendations that comes back here should go to the planning board.
Yeah. Um, That's the EMC, the second part of the letter where it has the recommendation.
They were recommending some conservation easements on those critical areas.
Yeah, and even
There must be something
donations.
we didn't. Is that included in the email that Lauren sent, or is that something different?
I think it's some, I don't know what Lauren said, I just forwarded this to the whole.
Oh, yes. I just,
I didn't see that, like, here you guys put on that, on the one that came from DMC.
Yeah,
So you might have got it anyway from Lauren, but I forwarded it again, so it'll get copied to the email box. These are some of the images that they're, with their letter. A bunch of this is like wet, looks like wetland anyway.
yeah, there's quite a lot of wetlands there.
I don't know what they would be thinking of trying to build homes there. Doesn't make sense. And some of them are flood zones.
Yeah, down below the railroad bed.
Yeah,
But now if you scroll back up a little bit there, where it says. I'm talking about donating non-development Trillium Woods.
That's what the EMC is asking for.
yeah.
Okay,
Is the tillable stuff, this part right here?
yes,
Everything you see in green basically is all tillable. All the way up and then
All the way up to here.
all the way to the west. Yeah.
currently tilled, not just tillable,
Yeah,
actively worked. Actively producing, not vacant land.
this is,
So the planning board meets on this or on the, so like the 20th or something, the 21st. All right,
Think they may.
Fourth Saturday. Yeah,
Well,
20th
would
would
it
be
help to have
Wednesday.
any of us there
the 28th.
at the
Yeah.
planning board? Would it help to have
Yeah.
any of this committee?
I would absolutely be there.
Yeah.
I can't not be there. I mean, this
It
is,
should be.
Well,
I do plan on being there.
Yeah, and just let Tony know you're going.
then we could go, or I could go. To support it.
Does anybody want to make a motion for how the committee feels? As a recommendation to the planning board?
I think that would be wise.
Do you feel comfortable in voting, or do you feel?
Absolutely.
They're
Okay.
in the planning board meeting.
I just know you feel like you have a conflict of interest, but.
I do, but it is what it is, right?
Mhm.
Who else is gonna argue for the dairy industry at this point?
Very few of us.
The 22nd, you said, Jason?
Yeah, January 22nd, 6 to 8 PM in the big room.
Yeah, I absolutely think we should make a
Okay,
recommendation. I would motion that. We make a recommendation to the planning board.
specifically saying that we are,
Are you gonna word it?
Well, I mean, that's up to us. I mean. And you're
Yeah,
right,
you're telling me you're opposed to approving the subdivision for sure.
I wouldn't be afraid to say that.
okay,
Tell them exactly what you want.
you just said that, did you get that down?
And then there's no need to like project.
I don't think you need to be putting words in his mouth, but I think you just,
The way I
No,
would
we
argue it
agree.
is, the reason I asked about the comp plan is because in the comp plan, in the open space specifically, and in the strategic growth or the housing
Mhm.
plan, right? They're talking about condensing it
Yep.
as much as they can, but they specifically say protect the town's open space resources and preserve, promote, and support the town's ag lands. And by putting in a major subdivision in currently cropped lands across the road from our dairy farm, I would say would completely go against what. the
yours or
comprehensive plan-
anybody's
It's
active
anybody's,
dairy
right.
barn.
I mean, and the conservation side of it, that's already been talked about in emails a little bit. Right, it's. Why did we write the comp plan if we're not gonna follow the comp plan?
Correct.
That's my concern.
Well, the conservation plan also talks about open space and protecting
Yeah,
farmland and everything too.
but that's where you run into the whole thing that you were mentioning earlier. It's just,
Yeah.
because at some point you're gonna,
Mhm.
because this is the trade-off I've been talking about from the last time we did zoning, like 10 years ago. We went through the same discussion then, and didn't get anywhere with it, so this thing.
What was the discussion?
Same exact thing going on, it's like, how do you do, because the comp plan before said the same stuff about protecting open space and everything, and then we.
Right.
Then when you get into drawing the zoning map. It's like, well, I want that, but I don't want my zoning changed, because in case I wanna sell off this or
Right.
sell off that. No, that's the thing, is
How
instead of
do we tell somebody what you can and can't do with your
right,
property?
but if you're talking about things, like, I think if we did it in a way, it's like, okay, you're talking about, like, I remember a long time, you're talking about good soils. Like the soil, there's certain soils that you don't wanna ever lose, so why would you wanna build on that? Then that's the kind of like nuanced zoning you should think about, where it's not so much about, you can't do what you want, it's like, this is a resource, it's not gonna come back if we don't protect it. And that's what you're kind of talking about. So there's gotta be somewhere in between where you can figure this out, but you know,
And a lot of your land's gotta be better than some of theirs, isn't it?
Some of who compared to whose?
To their, what they're turning into housing.
Yeah, they
On this,
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, that's not awesome ground by any means, but
Yeah.
it will produce a good crop, especially if it had tile in it. We've never tiled it because we've never owned it,
yeah.
but it absolutely is gonna be productive ground.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's.
Yeah, I mean, I think on this side of town, there tends to be more productive ground than if you go to like the northwest side where it's very
Oh, yeah.
rocky and.
Oh, yeah.
There's more,
Marks are okay, but mud is.
yeah, I mean, it's a lot.
I don't know, what's the soil like over on your side of town?
Us?
Yeah.
Well, you're around us.
We don't
now,
have soil,
probably.
it's just rocks over there.
That still
Yeah,
grows
It's about
crops.
2 inches.
It does.
It does grow, it's about 2 inches of soil and then
Yeah, and then
it's
it's,
all the way down. It drains well.
yeah. But it doesn't.
Well, that,
So
Well, you have all the soil maps from here and soil and water, and you know where it is, so.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do protection, that's what you want to use anyway.
so what would our position be if they propose to put in a solar farm,
Yeah.
keeping it in farming
Mhm.
of kind?
It wouldn't be the whole thing, it'd just be a, one little chunk. So if somebody bought it and they had, 3 family members wanted to put 3 different houses there, could you even prohibit that if they bought the whole thing and, you know what I'm saying?
I
Just if it
You
wasn't.
wouldn't like under
subdivision.
existing zoning, no,
Yeah.
because you can build
Yeah,
homes in rural ag. It's just,
Yeah.
it's just the only issue is what's the density? And we even ran into this with that was like the whole purpose of those conservation zones, because you were supposed to. Have tighter density, but you leave like majority of the parcel open.
Yep, yep.
And that's what we were tried to hash out, last time, and that's didn't go well either. So it's kind of like, there's gotta be some,
there is no,
well, there's no. There's gotta be some give to. Somewhere. And if people don't wanna do that, then this is what you get.
spend that kind of money and
Speculate,
not knowing if you're gonna be able to do what you're planning to do it.
it's gonna call rich people.
They figure they got the money, they can do it.
And then they'll blame you when they don't, then for not doing their research and. And all that. And then sue you.
They blame us because they didn't do their research.
Yep. It's kind of like how Monsanto blames farmers for like Monsanto corn growing on their fields when they never planted it and everything blew over on their fields, like, oh, now you owe us money. Same bullshit.
What's this bald looking spot, Austin, down by the houses there?
This one right here.
It's a place in
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah, dead centering your screen.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't use that. It's probably quite wet there.
But it's not showing up as dense trees or fields or,
Looking.
I'm assuming they flush hog it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was gonna be my guess is that it was something that was, it's stubble that got brush hogged off.
But it's not part of that property, I don't think, is it? No, it's part of Morris's, but. Oh, well, doesn't matter.
It's all part of the same part.
Yeah. I just was,
But,
first I
you-
thought
you-
maybe it went with,
You see this here looking the same,
okay.
and you've got this here also
That's
looking the same,
construction site there.
right, where it's all,
It's
the,
just late corn. Yeah, I think it's just brush hog.
Okay.
I assume.
I'm just seeing brown stubble.
is there a road going through here?
There's a house on there.
Yeah.
Along the
Right.
Yes.
Oh, so it's just mowed along that driveway.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're not, yeah. That's all.
That was- The people that owned that felt that was where their farm was. You're going to be a million miles from the road, but
Okay, do we want to get the wording down a little bit tighter? Yes.
Yes, please.
Um. The Ag Advisory Committee recommends that the
or denies.
that the board denies altering the,
Denies the permission for a subdivision, or I mean, what specifically are they asking?
to change the,
How many houses are they?
classification of it, or are they looking for a special use permit, or?
I thought they were calling a major subdivision.
It'd be a major, yeah.
Well, would we agree with the Environmental Management Council's recommendations? Not to develop the swampland and the Trillium area first? Did we support that?
Do not,
Well, I think that goes hand in hand with developing the rest.
yeah,
Right.
So I'm afraid to say that to,
Well, I mean, that'd be first part. Second part is we oppose the proposed subdivision of the arable land in its existing form,
mhm,
without saying you couldn't build, just said we oppose it in its existing form, because maybe there's a compromise. Maybe they could develop cluster houses of some way that.
Yeah.
Well, that would be the one thing, maybe.
No doubt.
Well, I mean, this is what
But you would always want to make sure there were setbacks to protect them. Good setbacks away from them and away from the critical areas too. There's nothing in here about any buffers or setbacks and
No. But they haven't put an application in yet, they're looking for feedback, so this is where you say, don't approve it.
I wouldn't give them a foot in the door at all.
Oh,
I mean, that's my
Well,
opinion.
I don't blame you. I agree
I
with
would
you
give them
in
nothing.
that respect. I mean,
Yeah, that's what you want, tell the planning board, that's what you want.
Yeah.
Don't,
right,
don't negotiate
We
against
wanna
yourself,
do that as
tell them what you want.
It's a foreign committee.
So. And then let these people say figure out what they're gonna do next, and then we can see how the
Right.
town has to respond. Cause they would have to, I think, they might have to get variances and stuff too. I don't know. Like, I mean, it's a long way off if they put an application in,
Yeah.
okay,
but there's no applicant, quite at least as of Gina's email from January 6th, there was no application yet,
We haven't seen anything.
so.
okay. In staying with the Dryden Comprehensive Plan of trying to keep, of trying to preserve open spaces, active agricultural land in agriculture. All those other things that we've been talking about here, saying that, you know, this is, we are following precedent.
It's currently in ag use,
Mhm.
it's productive, it's. You can. Even if they're reinstated by EMC, I mean, they're already backing off of saying completely no, but the reasons they cite could be used to say no.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. We certainly could be dittoing that.
yeah, just make it clear, you're like, the EMC is saying, oh, well, if they're gonna do this, allow this much and carve these things out, you're saying, just no. Just
Right.
make it clear in this resolution, you're
No.
saying no.
No.
Not at all.
You think you could dress that up, make it sound, semi-intelligent
You
and,
got all the notes.
We got some notes here, yeah.
okay,
I'll pull it all together.
okay, good. My English teacher would shoot me, but all of them. And then could you shoot it out to everybody on the committee and then we'll
Yes.
mark it up or say.
Yeah, mark it up. Yes.
We're qualified to
Beautiful.
do that.
I don't have a red pen. No, I'm not qualified to do that. Okay, we have a motion made to send recommendation to the planning board of approximately that
Yes.
page there. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion made and seconded. Any further discussion?
Should that be forwarded on to the town board too?
Yeah.
Town board as well.
And probably the planning department.
Yeah.
Is that, yeah.
We're each-
Everybody, just send it to everybody.
We'll send it to recreation department, whatever.
Send it to the conservation board, so we know what you're doing.
You guys haven't discussed this on the conservation board yet?
No,
Really?
it has come up, this has all kind of come up since, because we didn't
Like
have a
in the past
meeting in
week.
December.
Yeah.
But we got the information and people on the conservation board have, for the conservation reasons, have been real concerned about this.
Mhm.
There's been a lot on
Yeah.
email,
Yeah, Tim's email lays it out.
you know.
Good.
Okay, all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Unanimously carried. Okay. Now, I apologize for not saying, who are our guests tonight? First,
I'm Ann Brenna. I'm a local. I live at 32 Green Drive.
okay,
My mom, Tricia Brenna, came to one of these at some point and asked me to stop by at this one. Just for
See what's going
for
on.
giggles to see what sort of crazy
Really,
people are out
yeah,
here.
who thinks this was a hoot? They did it. So
Okay,
here, yeah,
well,
this is my partner. Scary.
hey, where do you live?
Deer Haven Drive.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember when your mom was there.
Yeah.
This is one of the more enjoyable meetings.
Anything else to come before us?
Well, you and Doug been to any exciting meetings lately or?
Yeah, you were to the one last week?
Yeah, this is the guide meeting, exciting though, but it was we're going through definitions for the last couple of meetings. Long document with from A to Z, you've probably seen some of that, and we went from P to Z last week.
Well, you got to see.
And it was a great meeting. It's, you could imagine a room full of English professors and lawyers going over the language.
You want to go to something fun, yeah.
It was actually, there's some really good points raised. Anyway, there were definitions of open space and green space, which kind of can relate to agriculture, but I didn't think there were anything really relevant to this committee, but those were two of them. And another thing that came up that was not quite related, someone is proposing to establish a pet crematorium in Dryden.
Oh, really?
Yes, and they just wanted to get some information about zoning for that, and there's no precedent for it, so it was put on the back bench, and I hope they'll be able to rule on that soon, develop some kind of guidance for that. I did take some notes and well, the community. The data center was going to be not allowed. I think that's the message I got in Dryden.
Yeah, we extended the moratorium, we're voting on that tomorrow. And then we already have the attorneys, I mean, he might have it ready by tomorrow of the definition changes in the law needed to just prohibit them.
What was the primary reason for that? Is it energy use or?
Yeah, I mean, energy and, noise, water.
Yeah.
I mean, there's, and the planning board's idea was to limit the size and put it in one small area, but our attorney's like, well, like when you open the door, then you
Right.
risk opening.
I know that was one that I was with, they were talking about, well, we'll make it so small that nobody will want to do it.
But someone always tries to push.
Okay, we'll now fit it into here,
Yeah.
and then we'll add on.
Yeah, so I think Tony's point at the meeting when we didn't move their proposal was that, yeah, there's a couple of businesses that might use more energy. Right now, I think Knickerbocker might be one of them, but they're not doing the other things. So they're not really the same business anymore, and they employ a lot of people over there, like a data center. I don't care what they tell you, they don't.
They don't employ our name.
Yeah, they'll have a couple of IT folks and occasionally some HVAC people in to make sure the cooling systems are working. What else do they need other than factory electric rates?
Yeah.
And the factory governor's gonna propose something to make them pay for their own power and upgrades and everything means that, well, they're not doing that right now. So why would we contribute to our own problem? We're gonna have enough of a problem at Lansing, not stepping up and doing something about that one. Because that's gonna affect the whole region. As far as energy rates. And TeraWulf is not a nice company. So. They tend to care. It's the way they operate.
There was a lively discussion of junk in the town.
The definition of junk?
Yes.
Oh, man, one person's junk is another.
How they end on that one?
Well, there's apparently definitions, I think, in Lansing, and they say something like this, that if you have 2 or more undrivable cars in your property, that's considered junk, but 1 is okay. The same thing for washing machines and refrigerators. It's true. That's the Lansing definitions, but
They said they
What's
didn't
our
find
rule
that,
on
but-
unlicensed cars here in Durham? There's a rule, isn't there?
Yeah.
there was a pro-ag discussion about unregistered vehicles
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
farms. But
Yeah.
that's okay, don't worry, guys.
But
don't
on
worry.
farms, it's there, I mean, like, cause I know, there was a guy, I know he passed away, but he lived in Enfield and he had old tractors. He would just buy the really, cause he liked to use instead of the newer half a gazillion dollar ones. He used the older ones, cause he had a pig farm basically, when he grew corn and stuff too, he used his old ones. But he'd just pick up old ones that are the same model, use all the parts out of them. And then just keep them outside, or some of them are in a barn, but they're all over the place, they were all over the place. But he had a farm, and it's also Enfield, which had no zoning, so it was kind of like. But the town at one time tried to go after him for property maintenance code, but so it was a working farm, so they didn't get anywhere.
But if you have an old pickup truck that you used with a plow to plow your long driveway in your farm, that's okay, it doesn't have to be registered and it's not illegal, so the ZAG group was understanding and supportive of typical agricultural practices.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's. I think it's way different than someone's just gonna thing for collecting old car. That they never work on. Yeah.
Okay, anything else to come before us while we are all gathered here? Having such a joyous time? Sir.
So you said this developer is gonna be there tomorrow at the town?
No, just Dave Weinstein presenting.
Oh, it's the EMC,
Yeah, developer, I mean, if they, I mean, I suppose they can show up, but they're not, it wasn't like an introduction or anything, but then it's EMC.
Somebody
Steve.
local?
Then it's Steve, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Got passed on by to everybody here.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of neat.
Mhm.
I was like, Steve's that old?
Yep, just turned 70.
I wouldn't think it, but
No,
No, he's,
yeah, but the developer, I don't know who these people are. So, like, the first email I got was January 6th.
okay. Uh, entertain a motion to call it a night?
Second.
Okay, all in favor of saying good night?
Right.
Thank you.
I hope so too.